It's time for Inside the Patch with your Las Vegas Raiders. Here's Gnarley Charley.
It's Inside the Patch. I'm Gnarley Charley. We do want to thank Fresno Rack and Shelving. Nice rack. Also, Valley Children's Hospital. If you'd like to donate some money, you can text the word Gnarley, Gnarley, to 51555. It'll pop up. You can do what you can do. That'd be awesome. Ryan No is here, and we're a week out of the Super Bowl. And yesterday it was announced that the Raiders hired an offensive coordinator, and we have a new assistant head coach, Marvin Lewis, in the fold. This was, it just went down the pike. So that's pretty big news. And Cliff Kingsbury is our new offensive coordinator too. So, and I don't know. I mean, the season's not even over yet, but the coaching positions are being filled up quickly, and you kind of have to figure out your plan. But the Raiders now, they need maybe a couple offensive linemen and a quarterback.
Yeah, quarterback would be quite helpful.
Kind of important.
That's on the Kingsbury wish list right there.
Well, you know the connections between Kingsbury and Caleb Williams, right? He coached him last year. There's some connection, but you know Kingsbury's got that spread out offense, where Antonio Pierce is more of the let's run it up the gut type thing, you know. But it doesn't mean he can't do that. And then of course Kingsbury's got that Mahomes thing, so maybe we'll just trade for Mahomes. I'm sure that'll happen, right?
Or Caleb Williams.
Or Caleb. Well, I was going to ask you. I mean, we're 13th pick. It would have to be a king's ransom to move up to the top 4 or 5, right? It would be ridiculous
to move up to number 1 because you're gonna have to move. Yeah.
Well, there's 3 in the top that are pretty good, but I mean, we're talking about jumping up, 9 spaces. I don't see that happening without hurting us, So there's the. Get a veteran.
It's going to be too costly. Yeah, price is going to be too much.
And then, Chicago gets the first pick. If they don't want Field, then they might get one of those guys. But either way, that's a pretty good quarterback out there.
By the way, do you want Justin Fields?
I don't know what I want. I'm not intelligent enough to decide what I want. I always want the stupidest things ever, and that sometimes I'm like, oh, thank God they were listening to me. I don't know. I just want it to be done. I don't like the anticipation is where I'm at, and I don't want to be that guy. I told you should have done. I'd say anything. I don't know. I'm waiting with bated breath, knowing that we hired some pretty good guys, and I hope they're smart enough to figure it out.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Hey, man, Kingsbury is a play caller. Pretty good. It's just, look, man, it's all about personnel. You just got to get better players and a better roster. Because, I'm not saying no one can play. I'm just saying there are enough holes on the roster, and not having a upper echelon quarterback, you're going to top out at 8, 9, 10 wins in a season. That's just where they are right now.
Well, okay, Kingsbury. Right now, the Raider Nation is all fired up. But if you go back to, the Cardinals a couple years ago, they wanted his head on a platter. You know what I mean? It's like that example of there's a beautiful woman and she's getting divorced. And why? Well, because after a while, the beauty goes away, when you get to know them, and it's just like a coach. Yeah, he beautiful pig, but guess what? They're not winning. And then what, Someone needs to be sacrificed, Yeah,
but there are the cases where you're like, man, I didn't marry a beautiful girl. And on top of that, she's annoying, that's a double whammy on your hands, right?
Have you ever seen that it's the beautiful, crazy scale for women, and
yes,
and it can go for guys too, I guess. Yeah, the more beautiful they are, the more you'll put up with. Basically.
Right. Well, it's like, what is it? The crazy hot axis or something like that?
Yes.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah.
And it seems to be kind of legit. And I don't know. I guess I'm glad that my fiance doesn't see very well, because I'm clearly not in her league, and she hasn't figured that out yet. So, that's a good thing.
That's good. Absolutely, it's good.
There's nothing.
Your pickup line or your first question is, how good is your eyesight?
Right.
And if it's like, it's lacking, I need glasses. All right, we got something to work with here.
And, so when the playoffs first happened, okay, there was 8 teams, 9 teams, whatever it was. I just was like, okay, cool. As long as it's not the Niners and the Chiefs, I'm cool with that, And here we are. And it's like, I don't know who to hate. I don't hate anybody. I mean, the fact that one of those teams is going to pick the Lombardi Trophy up in the Raiders' home stadium kind of bothers me. Kind of bugs me.
Yeah.
There's nothing I could do. Nothing.
Yeah, that's a great point. Ugh. Yeah, right? Thinking about Mahomes in Allegiant Stadium, just like, we want it all. Yeah.
And so then every year, he comes at least once a year, he's going to go, yeah, remember we won the Super Bowl there? That was so awesome. He's going to have this great memory. I mean, no.
I think it'd be even worse now that I think about it. I think it'd be even worse where even, let's say, you beat Mahomes in Vegas in like week 10 or whatever it is next year.
Yeah.
And you're just like, all right, we got him. Take that, Mahomes. And you can he could either say it or you would know it, that he's won the Super Bowl in that stadium. And
right here.
The week 10 win is nice, but,
That's cute. That's cute. Because we'll never beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. It's impossible.
Right.
And that's the biggest game in everything. So it's like, oh, yeah. Good. That's cute. That's cute.
That's funny, though. I didn't think about that. Chiefs, Niners in the Raiders stadium.
In our stadium, in our house. I don't know if they get our locker room. I don't know how it works. I think there's 4 locker rooms because of college. So I think we're okay there. I can't.
Okay, so let me ask you this: who's your favorite current Raider?
It's probably got to be Crosby or Devontae.
Okay, so Crosby or Devontae. I don't know which team is in the Raiders locker room, but which Chiefs or Niners player would you least want sitting at either Crosby or Devontae's locker?
Well, it's got to be the big two, Mr. Swift or Mr. Mahomes. I mean, I don't really hate anyone else. I don't like the fact that Andy Reid has a lot of snot frozen to his mustache. I don't understand that. And have you seen that commercial where it's for State Farm and they're trying to explain to triple coverage or something, and they start using food as examples? Like, yeah. Okay. Well, when I was a kid growing up, my parents, we called my private parts my nuggies, right? And when he goes, "Ooh, can we have some of those nuggies?" And I just go, "Whoa!" I can't get that out of my head. I'm like, "Wow, Mr. Reed, please just stop."
I just think that's funny. You referred to, that area as nuggies, huh? That was the.
I thought that was the medical term. I did.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
So do you use it to this day? Like you're watching a game, you got hit in the nuggies right there.
I quit recently when that commercial came out. I said, nope, that's out. That's off the list now. I'm not going to do that anymore.
Explain it again using those nuggies.
Oh, and it runs a lot. This thing is on a lot. Okay, and then Travis Kelce. Well, the way I heard the story went down before the Ravens game. Well, first off, I don't know why the NFL puts the kickers in the other guy's area, right? But the kickers usually come out early. Well, I guess Mahomes was upset because the kicker was still out there. And he sent Travis Kelce over there, and Kelce kicked his stuff or threw his stuff off the field.
Right.
And I was like, wait a minute. Come on. But Kelsey's probably going to end up in the Hall of Fame, I would think.
Oh, gosh, absolutely. Yeah.
And so, Mr. Hall of Famer, you're going to go pick on a kicker? Why don't you go pick on a lineman? Come on, bro. A kicker? Oh, you're going to go swing at the punter? Ooh. I don't know.
I don't know if you'd be saying this if this was, I don't know, Jimmy G and,
I know.
You know?
I know. I think about that too, but there's something about the Raider Nation that, because I think they feel like we're underdogs and we're the bottom that we wouldn't accept people doing that. We would do other things, but not that.
What if Mayer did it? What if Michael Mayer?
Yeah.
Shoved the helmet aside. You'd be like, that's right. This is our area.
That's the Notre Dame way. That's how we do it here. Where's he? Well, I don't know. I'm just like, no.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was one of those situations. It's clear that Justin Tucker, why would you be warming up at basically the goal line? What was he doing? Was he going to kick from there? Or I don't understand why he was even there to begin with.
He's an old savory vet too. He might have been doing something on purpose to get a reaction.
I think he was.
Because we're talking about it.
Yeah.
We're talking about it.
I don't think that was his goal. I think it was just to, kind of troll the Chiefs a little bit. That's what it seemed like. That's at least what Mahomes and Kelsey are saying.
Right. Have you seen the way, Mahomes' wife, she's trying to be buddies with Taylor, but at first, like the first couple times, she looked at her like, I guess there's a new hot blonde in town and I'm not it,
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, it was, but now you see them going out and stuff. They're buddies and they're friends. And, Taylor's like the most powerful person in the world. I feel bad for her a little bit because if they win or lose, people blame Taylor. And Taylor has no control over if the NFL decides to put her on the camera. They don't say, hey, we're going to you at second quarter, make sure you're smiling. She don't know. She's just there enjoying the game.
I don't understand why so many people are so upset about this. I really don't. I hear all the time where it's like, I'm here to watch the game, not Taylor Swift. Do you have the same reaction whenever they show anybody in the crowd? They show a lot of crowd shots throughout an NFL game, a lot. And I don't hear anyone say anything about, I'm not here to watch the random Buffalo Bills fan with his shirt off. I'm here to watch the game. I don't get why people are so bent about this.
I agree with you at 100%. And then, but it was the Golden Globe Awards. Taylor was up for one. And there's a new award about if your movie does well at the box office. It's like a box office ticket sale. She was up. She didn't win. But the guy at the beginning, Joe Coy, comes out, and his joke was, what's the difference between the Golden Globes and an NFL game? Well, the Golden Globes shows a lot less Taylor Swift. Kind of funny, right? Kind of funny. Uh-huh. Taylor got all mad and then went to her on the air and was like trying to get him canceled. I'm like, it's kind of based on what's kind of going on right now. I don't see the anger or why that would be a bad thing, So that kind of bugged me. And I'm like, just smile and laugh. Who cares? Don't take yourself so personal. But I also don't know all the crap she's got to go through. I did hear this. I don't know if you know about Taylor and the number 13. That's right. That's her thing. It's the name of an album. She was born on the 13th. It's a big deal. Well,
right.
The Super Bowl will be the 13th game that she's been to for Travis.
Oh.
So there it comes rearing its head again. And so, but if they do break up, it'll be a pretty good album. It'll be a great album about that Ready 7, the Chiefs. I don't know. And that's another thing I feel bad about. She does write songs about people, I don't know.
I don't understand why it's become so controversial. It's become this whole thing with her at games and how many times she's on TV, and it's like,
it's a drinking game. Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, hey, if you want to have some fun with it, knock yourself out. But I don't know why you'd be upset about it. There are a lot of people upset about, oh my gosh, she's on my TV again. It's like, so
okay,
what?
You know there's going to be a prop bet. You know it. There's got to be a prop bet.
Oh, there are plenty of them. Yeah.
About her, how many appearances, what color shirt will she be wearing? Well, I don't know. Will she be with his mom? I don't know that you can bet everything, right? Pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think there's something about, there are a few I've seen where it's, will she be shown on TV during halftime? I'm sure there's an over-under bet on how many times she'll appear throughout the game. Yeah,
I sure invite her down to sing. Will she sing? Will she sing? Which I doubt she will, but I mean.
Yeah, I think there's something like, will she perform at halftime? I'm not sure about that because I think it might have been announced that she isn't. I'm not sure.
Will she flip somebody off? Will she throw? Will she throw water at a fan?
Well, there are a few of, will Kelsey propose after the game?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
And I think there's one, a super long shot bet that will they announce that she's pregnant after the game?
Oh.
Which is pretty funny.
Okay, so I did send you an article over the week about the Kelsey name. So I was a little off though. The boys apparently didn't know that Kelsey was pronounced different. So, and they're talking to their dad, and the dad said, "Yeah, some guy at work called me Kelsey, and I just got sick of her. They corrected him, so that's who we are." I'm like, wow, how can you do that? You know,
very laid back. I'll tell you what, that's the mentality. They wouldn't be mad if they were just, random Joe Blow about Taylor Swift being on TV. You know what I mean? If you're not worried about how someone is mispronouncing your last name, you're not going to be ticked off that they just showed Taylor Swift on TV yet again,
Exactly. Well, and just think about it. There, you reach a level in fandom and famousness to where that's all you're going to get is hate or complete love. It's like you are now Buddha or Jesus, and there's going to be people who don't like it, and there's people who are going to be crazy for you. And there's no in between,
Yeah, right. That's got to be weird. It really does on that scale, Yeah. Because she has a legion of fans where she can do no wrong.
An army.
And then
she could say, burn the city down, and they could.
They would. Yeah. Yeah. But she's got the opposite. Where any little thing she does, oh my gosh, I can't stand her. And that's gotta be weird, right?
I usually am a pretty good judge of who's going to be famous in the country music world. That's where I came from. And I honestly did not see her. I did not feel it, see it, did not see this coming.
Wow.
For her. Thought she was good. I mean, the night that she had her first kind of hit song was called Tim McGraw. And she did on the ACMs. She never even met Tim McGraw. Had a song called Tim McGraw, and she comes out playing it, and she sang it to Tim McGraw, right? In front of everybody. It was a huge deal. Well, I happened to meet her dad that week, right? So him and I are drinking. It's that night. And he goes, "Hey, Charlie, let me tell you something." I go, "Yeah?" Because guess what Taylor's doing tonight? I go, "What is she singing?" She's singing Tim McGraw, and she's going to walk over to him. He's giving me the scoop, right? And I go, "That's kind of cool." And her dad's just the nicest guy in the world. And just, I'm getting hammered with him. I'm just drinking with the guy, just nicest guy ever. And he tells me that nugget, that was, I wonder if I could call him up and see what he's doing for the Super Bowl. maybe he's got some special things happening there. I don't know.
Yeah. The first thing I thought of was, could you have won some money on a prop bet? Betting that she was going to sing that song.
I don't think they really do that. Well, okay, but in sad news, today it just came out, or yesterday came out with what happened to this. I don't know about the Frozen Chief fans. I don't know if you even heard this. It was during the Frozen game in Kansas City, where it was cold, no, it was Buffalo, but they were home in Kansas City. These guys watching the game out.
Probably against the Dolphins, right? When they hosted the Dolphins.
Yeah, it was the Dolphins. That's right. But these guys are at home at their house having a party. Well, this one dude who owns the house went to bed. His 3 buddies stayed out there. They found him 2 days later, frozen to death in the yard. And guy wasn't answering his phone. He's kind of changed his story, and he's moved out since then. But they came out today. They had fentanyl and coke in their system, so they were severely hammered and then froze to death. And I'm like, wow. That's got to be it. I mean, you always think about when you're a kid how I might die in a car wreck. I just want to die in my sleep or whatever. But you never think, I bet I'll be drunk with 2 other guys at a football game or watching a game and wake up dead. I was like, just tragic. That stuff could be avoided. It's tragic. But and I don't like the Chiefs, but I don't like people freezing to death. It's like, it's on you when you do something dumb like that. You took the drugs, so it's kind of it's hard to say that was a sad situation. It's kind of your fault, I just think it's bad luck if a tree falls on you. But if you know the tree's bad and you're standing under the tree, it's kind of your own fault,
Yeah.
That's my philosophy in life,
Yeah. The positive I can take out of this is that you do have a heart when it comes to a story like this.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things. Chiefs didn't convert 3rd and 3. Good. Right?
Yeah.
From a Raiders standpoint. Chiefs lost to Tampa in the Super Bowl. Yeah, all right, good. Stupid Chiefs, but you drew the line when it came to this story. That's good.
Well, for me, I have a prime example, and I crossed the line, I thought. So this is September 10th, 2001. The next day is the 9/11 attacks, right? Well, Denver's playing somebody on I think it was Monday Night Football, and Ed McCaffrey breaks his leg. Right?
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, good. He's out for the season.
Really?
And I'm usually not like that. I was kind of like, yeah. And then when the 9/11 attack happened, I remember that night going, he's an American. I feel bad for that. I'm sorry I said that. It was so weird. That whole the 9/11 thing. You loved every American, and I felt horrible for saying that about Ed McCaffrey. And I was like, wow. Is that crazy? I mean, I was like, I was mad at myself. That guy's an American just like me. And
so I hate to even say this. So if his son, Christian McCaffrey, gets hurt, are you going to say, good?
No.
Are you grown from that moment, huh?
I feel like I owe him extra. I feel like I should make 3 prop bets just in honor to redeem myself for what I did to his dad.
Christian McCaffrey overs. Anytime touchdown, yes. Over 90 yards rushing, absolutely.
I didn't think about little Christian at home. His dad broke his leg. He must be horrified, So now I even feel worse. I didn't think about that. And if I try to tell him, you laughed when my dad broke his leg, I hate you. No, but then I changed it after 9/11. I don't know if that works. I'm just not going to tell him that story ever if I ever get
it. I think he would. I'm
going to just holster that one. I'm going to holster that and not let that be a thing. I do have to share this with you that there's a Leukemia Lymphoma Society, and they're trying to get me to run for this. It's called Visionary of the Year. It's like a fundraiser, like 7 or 8 people. So I go to lunch yesterday. Well, Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills' sister is the one I'm going to lunch with. She's the one recruiting me, right?
Yeah.
And she's from the town of Fireball. It's spelled Baugh, right? And I go, I will consider doing this if I get to tour the Fireball factory, like Fireball the drink. And she's looking at me like, what? I go, you're from Fireball, right? Is it Fireball factory there? And she finally got it, and she was cool, blah, blah, blah. Well, she was going, you got to think of fundraiser ideas if you do this. I go, what if I sent your brother 25 Ziploc bags and I have him autograph them all? Then I'll just put a bunch of water in each one and say these are actual snowballs from the playoff game against the Dolphins. Or did they play the Dolphins? They played the Dolphins.
No, the Chiefs.
The Chiefs. Yeah. These are from the actual game. Of course, it's just a melted bag of water, but he signs it. Is that a good idea? Would you pay for that? I mean, you probably wouldn't, but autographed snowballs. And you put it in your freezer. And then you could just say, look, there it is. There it is. Maybe I should shape it, though.
I don't know, man. It's like
the silence is just killing me.
the authenticity, from that moment on, your word is nothing.
Well, it's not me, it's him. He's saying it. He autographed it. He said that he went and picked it up and made a snowball. I just need one picture with a snowball in his hand, and then the bag. We're good to go. That's all it is. I think there's something here. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding about. I did say that to her, but I'm kidding. I don't know if he'd actually do it.
I doubt it. I doubt he would just be like, "Oh yeah, it's from there," when it's not. That could come back and bite him.
Come on. All right. Well, so we got the Chiefs. We got the Niners. I don't want either. I just don't want either.
Well, hey, at least one team's going to lose, right?
Thank goodness. We should concentrate on that, right? I should really focus on that. One is going to walk into the stadium with the Las Vegas Raiders and walk out a loser, a Super Bowl loser.
Okay, so here's the question. Where did the Niners rank in your list of hate? The Chiefs are number one. Where are the Niners?
The Niners were number one when we were in Oakland and when my dad was alive, because my dad switched to like them. So there have been they're battling all the time. And sometimes Denver's in the mix, but really since Mahomes, the Chiefs have been the number one enemy, which means.
So where are the Niners? Do you have
two?
Two. Chiefs? You don't have the Chargers second? You don't have Denver second?
No, Chiefs, Niners, Denver. Chiefs, Niners, Denver, and Chargers they're just, I don't know. To me, there's never been that hate between the two. I think, I don't know. It's like, some teams hate other teams. Like Dallas Cowboys don't like the Niners, and they don't like the Giants, and they don't like the Eagles. Those are their three. Everyone's got three, I think. And since the Chargers are division, they're up there, but I just don't feel the hate. Like Miami and the Raiders. I know you kind of like Dolphins, but I don't have a hate for the Dolphins like I do for the Chiefs. You know what I mean? And I met Jimmy Cephalo one time. I used to look like Dan Marino, so I had a little connection there, I guess. I don't know. It's just, and I don't know how this happens. And have you ever seen that map though, where they show the rivalry teams and say this would be better divisions, and it's like put Dallas in a division with the Texans, and it's really closer and better rivalries if they made the divisions that way.
Yeah,
but it is what it is. That's not going to change. It doesn't matter. I guess.
No.
But who are you thinking? Are you thinking Chiefs? Are you thinking Niners? Do you think it's going to be a great game? You think it's going to be a blowout?
Well, listen, I think that the Niners have more talent collectively. Right. They've got a better overall roster, not by leaps and bounds, but they've got more Pro Bowlers, more All-Pros this year, that sort of thing. I think they're a deeper team, but man, Mahomes, and the Chiefs have a legit defense. The thing that worries me about the Chiefs defense is they're not great against the rush.
Right.
And the Niners, they're definitely going to run the ball a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know why the Ravens got away from the running game. They were so stupid to not run the ball against the Chiefs, but the Niners won't make the same mistake. I just think that the Niners, look, they've made a lot of mistakes these first two playoff games, but they've made fewer mistakes than their opponents have, right? So that's what I'm wondering is if the Chiefs don't make those same type of mistakes, are the Niners going to win that game? And I don't see the Chiefs beating themselves the same way the Lions did, the same way the Packers did at the end with that horrible interception by Jordan Love. I don't see Mahomes doing that. I don't see the Chiefs doing that. And so I think that the Niners, they're going to have to go take it. And you have to step on the throat of Mahomes and the Chiefs. That's easier said than done.
Well, Andy Reid said this week that he credits the Raiders for getting them to the Super Bowl, because when the Raiders beat them, the team had a complete wake-up call.
Really? Who said that?
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid.
He might have said that, or he said Nuggies. I'm not sure what it was. I think he said that.
Yeah.
No, but he did say.
How crazy is that? Think about that game where the Chiefs, where they give up 2 touchdowns in 8 seconds or something like that.
7 seconds, yeah.
7 seconds. Aiden O'Connell didn't complete a pass after the first quarter.
And we won.
And the Raiders still won. And the Chiefs are 1 win away from winning it all. It's crazy.
It'd be like going into overtime and say, we don't even want the offense. We just want 2 defensive sets if we can. We won the toss. We'll play defense first, and then can we just play defense again because we don't care about our offense. We don't need it. We only score defense.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Can they have the ball both halves? Can we do that?
We just want to. Yeah, we want our D. We want the toss. We want D both times.
That's what happened with the Packers. Did you hear this story? So when the Packers played the Panthers in Carolina toward the end of the season, this cornerback, Jair Alexander, for the Packers, he hijacked the coin toss.
How did he do that?
He's from the Charlotte area. So he's like, I'm home. I'm just going to be a captain for this game. He just went out there as if he's one of the captains when he wasn't. He went out there. He called the coin toss. And I can't remember exactly what he said, where it was like, we want defense. And you're supposed to say, we want to defer, or there's specific language. So the way he said it, he almost messed it up, where Carolina got the ball to start the game and to start the second half, but they ironed it out. That's not what happened. But he just hijacked the coin toss. And it almost went down that way.
It's good to be. I'm home. Did you say heads? What was that? Wait, what did he say?
Yeah.
That's crazy like that.
Heads.
Yeah. No, I was saying heads up because of the arrows. I didn't mean heads. Cover your tail. Heads up. Oh, all right. Well, in Raider news, we did get Marvin Lewis. I was going to say, as the assistant head coach, I didn't even know that was a position, assistant head coach.
Oh, yeah.
But it is, and it shows that Antonio is saying, look, I'm bringing in a professor, someone that knows what's going on here. And I was like, all right. It takes some of the glory. I don't care. I don't see him worried about Marvin Lewis overshadowing him,
Yeah. No, he's not.
I'm happy with all that. What happens to the Raiders next is and they're going to lie anyway right now. Aren't you mandatory to lie about what you're going to do for the next few weeks, a team? You don't want to choke people.
What, for draft-wise?
Draft, trade, everything.
Free agency?
Yeah, you're just like, oh, no, yeah. What you're hearing is probably not what's really going on. Who knows,
Yeah.
And I know the Raiders.
I would say, like, the people that said, hey, John Gruden's going to be the next head coach,
Yeah.
Kind of like that. Don't believe that person if they put something else out there about.
What was the quote? What was the quote? He will what? You said
he will never, ever be a head coach in the NFL again. And I'm not rooting for it. It's just the way it is. It's not going to happen.
That's just the way the math works out. Well, if Garoppolo and Hunter Renfrow get released, which it looks like it's probably going to happen, the Raiders save $25 million in cap. I don't see any way those guys survive that. You know
what's crazy is, like, it pertains to the Super Bowl and Jimmy G. Because think about this. Jimmy G was on the Niners last season, right?
Yeah, that's right.
2022 season. He was there. He had 16 touchdown passes, four interceptions, and then he got injured. And that was it. And then it was Brock Purdy's turn. And that was the end of Jimmy G. Right? And so look at Jimmy G this past season. When he was with the Niners in 22, they were 7-3. He had a 7-3 record. Raiders this past season with Jimmy G, 3-3. His numbers, very different between 22 Niners, 23 Raiders, right? So I would say all that because I'm wondering about Brock Purdy. He's done a good job, but if you think Brock Purdy on like the Patriots right now would be putting up big numbers, I just don't see it. I don't think that would be the case.
Well, are the Niners in danger of like they have like 9 people on their team that are probably superstars, and can they afford to keep all these guys, or is this like one and done? It's
yeah. Well, that's the thing with Purdy. He's making less than $1 million this season. I think his salary is like $870,000. Compare that to a guy like Mahomes or Herbert in the same division. Like Joe Burrow is getting huge money. These guys, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts just got a huge deal. Lamar Jackson, right? Like
huge money. Huge.
What he's making compared to those guys is nothing. So it helps the roster like crazy.
Yeah, but that's got to change. And then, man, didn't the Niners run out of quarterbacks in the playoffs last year? Didn't they get to the point where Samuels was playing quarterback because everyone got hurt? They didn't have anybody.
Christian McCaffrey for a little bit.
Yes, McCaffrey. Yeah. I mean, it's all things weird. But
it's not a bad idea though. It's just run Wildcat with Debo and McCaffrey. You know, I don't know how many carries Debo got last year.
I'm not sure. Well, I was thinking, what if the Raiders got Wilson and then one of these like new up and comer guys and put them both in the backfield at the same time? So you don't know. We might, because Wilson played shortstop. He could turn 2 all day long. So you got Russell Wilson and Jaden in the backfield. And and the center decides who it goes to. No one's ever done a 2 QB set. I don't know if it would work, but
I would say I like the plan. It's outside the box.
It's totally outside the box.
I would say try to get a true franchise quarterback.
Right.
And that would probably be a better way to go.
Probably a better idea? You think so?
Yeah.
All right. All right. We'll go with that then, okay?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
All right. But I hate to say it. I'm rooting for the Niners. I hate to say it, but I am. Wow. Weird to say. You're
gonna wake up in a cold sweat, man.
It's better that the Las Vegas Raiders are in Nevada, so it takes a little bit of the edge away, But still the Niners. I guess because I grew up in an area where the Chiefs weren't really a problem. It was the local Niner fans and the Raider fans just talking crap all the time.
Yeah,
it was more like that. It's not really about the team. It's about my friends and that kind of thing.
Oh, so, I get it. Dude, that's why I grew up in South Bend. I've always been a Notre Dame fan. There are a lot of Michigan fans in that town. Yeah. It's the same thing. It's just this, we beat you. You guys suck. Yeah, I freaking hate Michigan to this day. I always will.
Well, so who's Notre Dame's biggest rivalries? Michigan?
USC.
Yeah.
Michigan was a big one when they played. They haven't played for a little while. But, yeah, USC is their biggest one.
Okay. That makes sense. All right, Brian, I appreciate you being on this week. We covered a lot today. I'm tired just from all the topics we covered. From me being a horrible human being till 9/11, and I had to fix it with the McCaffreys, all the way to the new hires. But we're growing together, and I'm a better person now. So I just want a good game. And I was going to say, you brought up a great point. Someone is going to lose in Las Vegas.
Someone's going to lose.
Someone's going to lose.
One of your hated teams is going to lose.
I'm going to
focus on that. The confetti's falling down. The losing team's walking off. Shoulders slumped down.
And I'm going to yell, guess it's not going to Disneyland. You aren't. Yeah.
Make that your wallpaper on your phone.
There it is. I like it. All right, I feel better. Brian, I swear you're my psychologist. Every week, I feel better after I talk to you. Sometimes I'm mad, and you talk me off the cliff every time. I appreciate it.
There you go.
But not the Cliff Kingsbury. We're keeping him. He's our guy now, right?
That's right.
I looked at the cliff notes, and they said we're going to win. So I'm excited about that. Oh, that's stupid. Brian, thanks again. We'll see you next time for Inside the Patch.
We'll be back with more Inside the Patch on 1430 ESPN, your official home of the Las Vegas Raiders.